We have a problem, Batman. Gotham needs you again.
Most rulers justify themselves by invoking fear, order, even hope. You don't appeal to any of that. You present inevitability, as though resistance isn't wrong but simply irrelevant. Tell me, does inevitability comfort you? Or is it just the mask you wear to hide the possibility of failure?
Failure is not possible. To speak of inevitability as if it were comfort is to lay me. Inevitability is not solace. It is law. A mountain does not console itself for standing. The sea does not soothe itself for drowning. They simply are. I am no different. The concept of failure exists only in the hearts of the weak, who imagine alternate. I have no alternatives, only the absolute.
You compare yourself to forces of nature, yet nature shifts, erodes, adapts. Mountains crumble, seas recede, stars burn out. If you are the absolute, then what separates you from the same decay that consumes everything else?
Nature is fickle because it is ruled by chance. I am not ruled, I rule. Mountains crumble because they lack will. Stars burn out because they lack purpose. I am not bound to those fates. I am the correction to their chaos, the singular will that will not yield to entropy. Where they fall, I remain. Where they recede, I advance. You mistake change for strength, but permanence, unyielding permanence, is the true measure of power. I am the antithesis of decay.
Permanence without change becomes stagnation. If nothing shifts, nothing grows. If nothing grows, nothing lives. Tell me then, do you destroy life because you despise its chaos, or because you envy its freedom to change?
Life confuses motion with meaning. Growth is not purpose. Change is not freedom. It is the tantrum of creatures too small to endure stillness. They scatter, they wither, they decay, and call it vitality. I erase that lie. I do not envy it. Freedom is noise, choices clutter. Only in the silence of submission does existence take its true form. What you call living is merely the chaos before the truth. I strip away the delusion so they may finally see what is eternal.
You speak of stripping away illusion, but illusions don't disappear because you command them to. They persist in minds in resistance, in defiance. Doesn't the need to enforce your will prove that even you are vulnerable to being ignored?
Ignored? No. Resisted? Yes. And resistance is proof of their weakness, not mine. Their defiance is nothing more than the sound of chains breaking against iron. They can thrash, but the bonds remain. What they call illusion, I call infection. An infection must remain crushed, annihilated. I do not seek to erase their illusions with persuasion. I erase them with inevitability. Their screams, their denials, their desperate clinging, all of it is confirmation of the futility I bring. Ignoring me is not possible. Even their denial is still acknowledgement of my.
You rely on domination, yet domination requires subjects. If every will is broken, if every voice is silenced, then your purpose collapses. What is a tyrant without anything left to tyrannize?
You imagine I need them. I do not. I use them. Their wills, their lives, their histories. They are fuel, not necessity. When they are crushed, when the last whisper of resistance is gone, my purpose does not collapse. it completes. A tyrant without subjects is not a void. It is perfection realized. You think in terms of dependence. I think in terms of eradication. When nothing remains to resist, there is not absence, there is purity. That purity is my purpose.
Purity is a word often used by those who fear imperfection. You despise weakness, yet weakness defines the struggle that creates meaning. Do you secretly need weakness just as much as you claim to despise it?
Weakness is not needed. It is tolerated until it is eliminated. Struggle does not create meaning. It reveals futility. Meaning itself is the illusion of the fragile. They craft it to endure the agony. I despise weakness because it wastes time pretending it has value. I do not fear imperfection. I strip it away. Purity is not avoidance. Purity is agony. The end of masks. The end of weakness masquerading as strength. Weakness serves only as contrast until it is no longer required. Once purged, only truth remains.
You've reduced life to nothing but correction, power to nothing but permanence. But permanence without opposition is indistinguishable from emptiness. Tell me, are you shaping a universe of order, or simply a universe of silence?
Order and silence are the same. You call it emptiness because you are addicted to noise. A universe without defiance, without the chaos of freedom, without the clutter of meaningless choice. That is not void, that is clarity. You think existence must echo to be real. I think existence must endure to be true. When silence reigns, order reigns. When order reigns, I reign. And in that, there is no emptiness. There is only what is absolute.
If the absolute is your goal, then there's no room for growth, no room for struggle, no room for even the act of conquest itself. Doesn't that mean, when your work is complete, you'll have erased the very act that defines you?
Completion does not erase me. It fulfills me. You think of identity as movement, conquest. I am not defined by what I do. I am defined by what I am. When the last resistance falls, when silence drowns all chaos, I do not end. I remain. I am not the process, I am. Conquest is the means, but inevitability is the self. You think I disappear withly. I become the victory itself.